Norway values a lot of things that are important to the world. Norway is one of the leaders in peacemaking. Norway really believes in being outside and communing with other people and living a grounded and full life.
From the very beginning, we've wanted to connect with contemporary Norway, so through arts, business, and culture. And that's what makes us different from other Norwegian American organizations in the immediate area. We want to focus on that contemporary connection and building a bridge between Norway today and the US.
The reason I think that this building is here because this was the place that Norwegian immigrants came to in Minneapolis. But it's also a place where immigrants come to Minneapolis. So now we're in the middle of a Somali neighborhood. So I don't think this will ever be a place that's just Norway. I think this will be a place that's just about people who care about other people.
Norway House offered the contemporary Norway, and they had exhibitions, they had both art and education and food that represents Norway today.
It's more broad than I was expecting. The program for the kids is great. The teacher is wonderful and she runs great classes and programs. I've met other parents through it and it's been fun to get to know them, and now we hang out outside of this. And as I've been learning about the programming, it's also really fun, and we've gone to a couple events that they've had that we didn't know about before.
Making Norway House your home and coming home to Norway House is kind of a cornerstone for us.
Good evening, friends of Norway House. I hope you're enjoying your dinner and a nice glass of akavit as we prepare for Midtsommer 2021. Brummer is proud to be a sponsor and a financial partner of Norway House. We are extremely excited about the new event center and groundbreaking coming soon. As board treasurer, I hope you give generously tonight as we enter a new era of Norway House. Skål.
Dear Norway House and all friends of this magnificent institution.
First of all, we must thank you so much for your excellent support in our process of entering the US market with our traditional products.
Sylsmia is honored to be a sponsor of the Midtsommer Gala of Norway House.
Up my chin, coughing red, you can't catch my breath. Devil's hooks they never forget. Could have dragged me down, but I ain't dead yet. I've been called. Time to answer for it all. Hanging on my head like a dirty old go to I keep coming back.
Greetings and happy Midtsommer to Norway House and friends from us at Larkin Hoffman. We're excited and proud to help this great institution and their ever-growing connections with the community, both local and national. And we're really excited for the upcoming expansion project. Skål.
Good evening. I'm Lorianne Reinhall, Editor-in-Chief of the Norwegian American, North America's oldest and only Norwegian newspaper, in existence since May 17, 1889. Twice monthly, we publish news and features to connect you to your heritage and to build bridges to contemporary Norway. Come and check us out at www.norwegianamerican.com to stay up to date with what's happening in Norway and Norwegian America. We wish you a warm welcome to our community. Hjertelig velkommen.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bonnie Boisner. I'm the president of Borton Overseas. We are so proud and excited to be a sponsor for the Norway House's Midtsommer Gala. We're a leading tour company based right here in Minneapolis with roots in planning travel to Scandinavia that goes back over 125 years. Our destination specialists on staff customize travel itineraries, creating personal connections for individuals and small groups to experience Norway and all of the Nordic countries. Everyone at Borton Overseas looks so forward to this annual Norway House event to help support them so that they can continue to bring programs to our communities that inspire and enhance all of our connections with Norway. To say this past year has been a year like no other is truly an understatement. But we're almost through it, and our worlds are beginning to safely open. So thank you, Norway House, for keeping us connected through it all and for allowing Borton Overseas to partner with you on so many levels. We're so pleased to be here with you tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brad Bakken, and most days I work at Citizens Independent Bank in St. Louis Park, one of your event sponsors tonight. So thank you, Citizens Independent Bank, and I want to thank you all for participating in the gala this evening. Hopefully the next year we will be meeting in person. We'll look forward to that. I also sit on the board of Norway House. I was brought on the board by my friend John Pedersen several years ago, and I currently serve as the chair of the building committee. So we have an exciting project going on. If you haven't heard about it yet, we are endeavoring to build a cultural and event center in our property there in Franklin Avenue. So if the spirit moves you and you feel the urge to donate to our capital campaign, that would be greatly appreciated. We are hoping to break ground this fall and open that event center in about a year's time after that, a year and a half, maybe the summer of 23. So with that, thank you all again for being here, and give generously. Tusen takk.
Good dag. My name is Bob Thunheim, and I'm the board chair at Norway House. And on behalf of my wife, Kathy, and my partners and colleagues at my law firm, Ballard Spahr, I want to welcome you to our annual gala. I hope you'll join us in supporting this wonderful organization that works hard every day, fulfilling its mission to connect the United States with contemporary Norway through arts, business, and culture. In the words of my ancestors, mange tusen takk.
Good evening, friends of Norway House. I hope you're enjoying your dinner and a nice glass of akavit as we prepare for Midtsommer 2021. Brummer is proud to be a sponsor and a financial partner of Norway House. We are extremely excited about the new event center and groundbreaking coming soon. As board treasurer, I hope you give generously tonight as we enter a new era of Norway House. Skål.
Dear Norway House and all friends of this magnificent institution.
First of all, we must thank you so much for your excellent support in our process of entering the US market with our traditional products.
Sylsmia is honored to be a sponsor of the Midtsommer Gala of Norway House.
Greetings and happy Midtsommer to Norway House and friends from us at Larkin Hoffman. We're excited and proud to help this great institution and their ever-growing connections with the community, both local and national. And we're really excited for the upcoming expansion project. Skål.
Good evening. I'm Lorianne Reinhall, Editor-in-Chief of the Norwegian American, North America's oldest and only Norwegian newspaper, in existence since May 17, 1889. Twice monthly, we publish news and features to connect you to your heritage and to build bridges to contemporary Norway. Come and check us out at www.norwegianamerican.com to stay up to date with what's happening in Norway and Norwegian America. We wish you a warm welcome to our community. Hjertelig velkommen.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bonnie Boisner. I'm the president of Borton Overseas. We are so proud and excited to be a sponsor for the Norway House's Midtsommer Gala. We're a leading tour company based right here in Minneapolis with roots in planning travel to Scandinavia that goes back over 125 years. Our destination specialists on staff customize travel itineraries, creating personal connections for individuals and small groups to experience Norway and all of the Nordic countries. Everyone at Borton Overseas looks so forward to this annual Norway House event to help support them so that they can continue to bring programs to our communities that inspire and enhance all of our connections with Norway. To say this past year has been a year like no other is truly an understatement. But we are almost through it, and our worlds are beginning to safely open. So thank you, Norway House, for keeping us connected through it all and for allowing Borton Overseas to partner with you on so many levels. We're so pleased to be here with you tonight.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brad Bakken, and most days I work at Citizens Independent Bank in St. Louis Park, one of your event sponsors tonight. So thank you, Citizens Independent Bank, and I want to thank you all for participating in the gala this evening. Hopefully the next year we will be meeting in person. We'll look forward to that. I also sit on the board of Norway House. I was brought on the board by my friend John Pedersen several years ago, and I currently serve as the chair of the building committee. So we have an exciting project going on. If you haven't heard about it yet, we are endeavoring to build a cultural and event center on our property there in Franklin Avenue. So if the spirit moves you and you feel the urge to donate to our capital campaign, that would be greatly appreciated. We are hoping to break ground this fall and open that event center in about a year's time after that, a year and a half, maybe the summer of 23. So with that, thank you all again for being here, and give generously. Tusen takk.
Good dag. My name is Bob Thunheim, and I'm the board chair at Norway House. And on behalf of my wife, Kathy, and my partners and colleagues at my law firm, Ballard Spahr, I want to welcome you to our annual gala. I hope you'll join us in supporting this wonderful organization that works hard every day, fulfilling its mission to connect the United States with contemporary Norway through arts, business, and culture. In the words of my ancestors, mange tusen takk.
Norway values a lot of things that are important to the world. Norway is one of the leaders in peacemaking. Norway really, really believes in being outside and communing with other people and living a grounded and full life.
From the very beginning, we've wanted to connect with contemporary Norway, so through arts, business, and culture. And that's what makes us different from other Norwegian American organizations in the immediate area. We want to focus on that contemporary connection and building a bridge between Norway today and the U.S.
The reason I think that this building is here because this was the place that Norwegian immigrants came to in Minneapolis. But it's also a place where immigrants come to Minneapolis. So now we're in the middle of a Somali neighborhood. So I don't think this will ever be a place that's just Norway. I think this will be a place that's just about people who care about other people.
Norway House offered the contemporary Norway, and they had exhibitions, they had both art and education and food that represents Norway today.
It's more broad than I was expecting. The program for the kids is great. The teacher is wonderful and she runs great classes and programs. I've met other parents through it and it's been fun to get to know them, and now we hang out outside of this. And as I've been learning about the programming, it's also really fun, and we've gone to a couple events that they've had that we didn't know about before.
Making Norway House your home and coming home to Norway House is kind of a cornerstone for us.
It is such a pleasure to join all of you for Norway House's Midtsommer Gala. Virtually still, but I think we all know we're seeing friends for the first time, connecting with people. As the mayor of Duluth, and only the mayor of Duluth could say this on Lake Superior, we all see the lighthouse on the horizon. And it, I think, is going to be quite a time of renewing friendships and making connections that we've lost over a really, really difficult time. I'd like to thank everyone that has helped make Norway House the bustling center of Minnesota's Norwegian heritage. Of course, Bob Thunheim, chair of the Norway House Board, Brad Bakken, chair of the building committee, Governor Al Quie and the Quie family, and the family of the late John Pedersen. Also, Christina Carlton, executive director of Norway House, and two great foundations that helped with financial support for the Norway House expansion project, the Carr Foundation and the Sundit Foundation. As the National Norwegian Center in America, Norway House touches the lives of thousands of Norwegian Americans every year and is a source of education and enrichment for countless Minnesotans. I've sure enjoyed visiting. Minnesota is home to more than 850,000 Norwegian Americans, more than any other U.S. state, and the second largest in the world outside of Norway. I'm impressed at how Norway House has served this broad community through the pandemic and has even gained support for your expansion project. And it is such wonderful news that the Norway House's gallery will be named after Walter and Joan Mondale. I think you all know that Vice President Walter Mondale was my mentor. He was a leader of great dignity, decency, and civility. His Norwegian ancestry kindled his lifelong interest in Norway and made him a strong supporter of Norway House. I miss him every single day, and I always tell people that I work with, when I leave sometimes and walk out a door, I say, keep up the good work. Because in that understated Norwegian way, that's what he was all about, and that's what he would always say to me. And Joan, she was passionate about art and culture and did so much to promote arts in our state and across the world. It is fitting that the Norway House Gallery should bear the name of Minnesotans who have done so much to improve life in our state. Thank you again to everyone who has supported Norway House's work to maintain and promote this important aspect of our state's heritage and history. I look forward to next year when we're going to be able to gather and celebrate Midtsommer in person. Enjoy the rest of the celebration. Thanks, everyone.
It's time to break out your bunads, slice the brown cheese, and pour a neat aquavit as we bring you the Not So Late Show with your host, Tyler Michaels King. Come on, baby, let's go. Not so. Not so. Not so. The Not So Late Show. Come on, baby, let's go.
Yes. How about another hand for the band of the house, Canada Goose? Yes, we'll be hearing more heavenly honking from them in just a bit. But first, willkommen, bienvenue. Welcome to the 2021 Midtsommer Gala and the Not So Late Show. I'm your host, Tyler Michaels King, or as I'm commonly referred to here in the States, the son of Skavlan. Right? Yeah. I'm like a chip off the old ice block, right? Hey, speaking of ice, how many of you have ever spent a night in one of Norway's famed ice hotels? Anyone? Oh man, these things are absolutely lit. So cool. Now, check that. So cold. Yeah, every single piece of the structure is made of ice, including the bed. But once you snuggle under a couple of reindeer blankets, ooh, it's the most peaceful and serene setting you can possibly imagine. Of course, sadly, every spring they are once again reduced to a puddle of fond memories. But leave it to Norwegian ingenuity to put the pro in problem solving. Just last week, top Norwegian scientists unveiled a cost-effective solution to keep these magnificent ice marvels upright and airtight year-round. And here it is. Huh? Once again, Norwegians adhering to science. I am so excited about tonight's show because we are going inside the world of Norway House to find out how, pandemic aside, they continue to connect the United States and contemporary Norway through the arts, business, and culture. Yes. We'll meet our 2021 Going Viking Award honorees. We'll test your Norwegian knowledge during our pop culture quiz. We'll pique your interest with an array of online auction items. We'll take a moment to recognize our Not So Late Show sponsors, whose Viking spirit made this evening possible. And we'll give you the chance to support the incredible work and ongoing efforts of Norway House by making a generous and greatly appreciated financial gift. And it just so happens that Dave and Linda Mona are here tonight as our fundraising point people. Isn't that right, Dave?
Hey, Tyler.
Was that a chicken wing?
Well, you know, I left my take-home dinner from Crave in the car, but Ryan, the drummer in the band, was kind enough to give me this.
Really? You think he'd have given you a drumstick?
Oh, good point. I'll just...
No, you know what? You just finish that up. I got it from here.
Seriously?
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Our first guest has served as executive director of Norway House since 2017. Her strong and steady hand on the wheel has helped steer this proud Viking ship through both calm seas and rough waters. And her commitment to both honor the past and envision a broad and diverse future is what makes her uniquely positioned to bring it all to fruition. Please welcome Norway House Executive Director, Christina Carlton. Welcome, Christina. Christina, please take a seat. Now, I'd love to hear from you just about Norway House. How did it get its start?
Great, yes, absolutely. So I guess I've been a part of Norway House since the very beginning. Had no idea I'd be leading it one day. My father, he was stationed here with the Norwegian consulate, one of the reasons I came to Minnesota, and he got a group of Norwegian Americans together and decided to form Norway House. We had our first programs, which is the Edvard Grieg Society, and then Peace Initiative, and of course now our signature Midtsommer Gala. Growing up, I was always so proud to be Norwegian from Norway. A beautiful country, reflects so much greatness, the humble culture of its people, the beauty of things natural and not overcomplicated. So at an early age, I set out to work for and with Norway as much as I could. So I wasn't intended on staying here when I came about 20 years ago, but love found me here, so here I am.
That's wonderful. Now, I know we've all been through just a ton this past year. I'm curious how it's been for Norway House. How did you guys get through this last year?
Oh, yeah, it's been quite a year. It's just, I've reflected on what it means to be a nonprofit community leader. It's made us think humbly of who we are and how we can make an impact, not only for our immediate neighbors, but be a good global citizens. Although we're surrounded by 2.5 million Norwegian Americans in the Midwest, this last year we've spent a lot of time just working through our internal strategic plan to make sure we're a community, national and international organization and viewed as one. Although we found out this last year we're very resilient, our founders, our members, staff, board of directors have really stayed by the organization's side, regardless of the physical doors being closed. We had to think fast, and we had to think creatively, and we had to communicate with our members. Life has a tendency to throw you some curveballs, and anything that my love for sports and travel has taught me, you have to be able to adapt to the environment you're in, and that's exactly what I think Norway House did.
Absolutely. It sounds like community is extremely important to Norway House. Tell us how you maintain connections with your community during this last year and how you hope to build on them in the future.
Yes, so most just refer us as a community center, a place to gather, a place to laugh and visit with friends and family, something I think we will never take for granted after this past year. We prioritized communicating with our members, reaching out to other local nonprofits, especially in our immediate area. We called to check in with our members. We sent weekly emails to communicate, connect. We hosted online programs and introduced new virtual exhibits for all to enjoy from the comfort of their home. From concerts to peace initiative programs, we carried those out despite the pandemic. And of course, our expansion and planning the details for even more space to gather and host our community has been a point of hope for the future.
I heard that big, exciting word, expansion. Can you tell me just a little bit about that? What's to come in the future for Norway House?
Yes, so very exciting. I've been working through it this past year, but I do want to also mention that this last year we welcomed the Norwegian Consulate General to Norway House. A new program was introduced called the BARN, the Business Accelerator Resource Network, and we introduced virtual exhibits and programs. We are proceeding with the expansion, despite having lived through this pandemic. So who knew you could build a 18,000 square foot building via Zoom?
It sounds like it would take just so many people to make that happen. What was it like to bring all those people together?
Yeah, no, we're a huge team. Huge shout out to the building committee, the capital campaign team. Without them, their support, we would not be where we are today. Our donors. So please join us this September for an outdoor groundbreaking. Check our website for more information. I do want to have the opportunity to say thank you to everyone listening, all of you, from volunteers to board members who have supported the staff, the organization financially, and given their time to help move Norway House forward into the future. To the viewers gathering tonight, to our friends around the country, I know there are many of you, even to our viewers in Scandinavia. Hi, Mama. Thank you all for supporting us, being there, and helping us get through this year and for years to come. I'm so excited for this next chapter and opening the new building. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much, Christina. One more time for Christina. Thank you, Christina, for sharing your remarkable insights and your passion about Norway House, where you're headed, and how you plan to get there. You know, there are some people who, like Christina, set goals, achieve those goals, and then because of who they are, do it all over again. It's time to meet some of these remarkable overachievers, the first of our 2021 Going Viking Award honorees. Please welcome Julie Ingebretsen on behalf of Ingebretsen's Nordic Marketplace and Dr. William Halverson. Julie, please, yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you both so much for being here.
Oh,
take a seat. Welcome to the Not So Late Show. I've been preparing some questions for you both. I'm super excited to talk to you, so if you don't mind, I'm just going to reference my notes here.
Okay.
So Julie, I'd love to start with you, talking about Norway House and its relation to Ingebretsen's.
Sure.
Tell us a little bit about the history.
Well, we were approached by some of the founders of Norway House, back whenever that was, a few years ago, to see if we would run the gift shop there. And so we said, sure. And we've been there ever since.
Wonderful.
So that's been a really fun collaboration for us.
Ingebretsen's has been in your family's history since it began. It's generational, and I know Norway House also has generational thinking. Tell me about the history of the company and the handing down of the company.
Sure. So the store was started by my grandfather, who came over in the mid-19-teens from Norway and learned how to be an American, learned how to be a butcher, opened a few stores around town, including ours. And ours is the one that's stuck on Lake Street on the corner of 16th, where we've been ever since.
Wonderful.
And then as time went on, my dad took over after the war and took on a partner, Warren Dahl, and the Dahl family and our family have owned it ever since. It was just the meat market all up until the 70s.
And that's when you came on,
And
right?
that's when I came along, and we opened the gift shop, and I thought I would do that for a year or two until I decided what I wanted to be when I grew up, and then I'm still there.
Bill, I'm curious about generational thinking and history from your perspective with your music. Edvard Grieg, I know you've worked a lot on his music. Tell us about your history with that particular artist.
Well, I would have to say first, I really did not set out to become a Grieg scholar. I was, for some years, a professor of philosophy at Augsburg, and I then became a dean at Ohio State. But something intervened. A friend loaned me a book, knowing that I read Norwegian, loaned me a book, the title of which in English is Edvard Grieg, the Man and the Artist. And after reading it, I thought, wow, this is a really, really good book. It's too bad it's not available in English. So I wrote to the Norwegian publisher and said, I just finished this book. It's a wonderful book. I think there'd be a market for it in the English-speaking world. I'd like to encourage you to get it translated. And they wrote back and said, we think that is a really good idea. Why don't you do that? One thing led to another, and ever since then, I have been spending most of my waking hours doing various kinds of research on Grieg and other dimensions of Norwegian music.
Wonderful. Now, I hear with Norway House that you've just released an album. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'm glad you asked.
Set it up good for you.
Oh, you really did. You really did. Some of us at Norway House decided that, you know, we at a minimum we should really have a concert of his works in English. So a couple of years ago we did that and had a wonderful concert, and the audience was just ecstatic about hearing these songs in English. So that led to the idea that, well, why don't we create a CD that was released, I think, maybe in December, around the 1st of December. And it's truly historically important because it is absolutely the first professional recording of Edvard Grieg songs in English.
Incredible.
Hopefully the first of many.
Well said. Thank you both so much for being here tonight. Before you go, I have your actual awards to give you.
Hey.
So, on behalf of Norway House, a beautiful picture of Ingebretsen's and some of your framed music right there.
Oh wow! One of Grieg's most favorite songs.
Yes. Bill and Julie, everyone, let's hear it for them. Thank you so much. Once again, congratulations to Ingebretsen's and Dr. William Halverson. Your dedication is inspirational and your contributions immeasurable. Well done.
And well said.
You know who else's contributions are immeasurable, Dave? Our sponsors.
That's so true.
And after this commercial break, we'll salute those sponsors whose generous support made this evening possible.
And we're clear. Back from commercial in 2 minutes.
So Dave, do you actually know who our sponsors are?
Yeah, of course I do.
Well, then why don't we play a little game I like to call Sponsor, Not Sponsor. I have a rehearsal script here, and I'll just read the name of our sponsors, and you can tell me if they are a sponsor or are not a sponsor. You ready?
Well, you know, as they say in Norway, ta det på. Bring it on.
Okay, right. Okay, we'll start with our bronze sponsors. Here we go. Tegra, sponsor or not sponsor?
All right, I'll wait for you. Sponsor.
Okay, that's right. Pulse Electric Incorporated.
Sponsor.
Correct. Sons of Norway.
Of course, a sponsor.
Indeed. Peter, Paul, and Mary Streed.
I hear that one blowing in the wind, but it's a trick question. The answer is not a sponsor.
No, they're not, but Mary and Mark Streed are bronze sponsors. How about David and Helen Distad?
Also sponsors.
Bingo. Moving on to our silver sponsors now. Carol Sundet Meeker.
No, I'm going to say sponsor.
You're batting 1,000. Okay, this one should be easy. KFC.
Not funny. Not a sponsor.
Oh, come on. It's a little funny.
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay, Epigard.
Sponsor.
That is absolutely true. How about Hilden Advocacy and Law?
Oh, they're indeed a sponsor. Yep.
Right. Jim and Joy Erickson.
Sponsors.
How about Lauren and Mary Anderson?
Also sponsors.
Ooh, you're red hot, my friend. Okay, gold sponsors. Silvsmedja.
Easy for you to say, and also a sponsor.
It was designed for success. Speaking of design, In Unison Design. Sponsor or
not a sponsor. Sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah.
I know you are, but what am I?
Not a sponsor.
That's right. Okay, let's pick up the pace. Fuse.
Sponsor.
Thrivent.
Sponsor.
Robbins Kaplan LLP.
Sponsor, yes sirree.
McGuff.
Sponsor.
Engelbert Humperdinck.
Nice try. Not a sponsor.
Dick Egebrensen.
Sponsor.
Paula and Jeff Soholt.
They would be sponsors.
How about Bremer Bank?
Sponsor.
The Norwegian American newspaper.
A sponsor indeed.
Ooh, good reporting.
Ooh.
Okay, final category, platinum sponsors. Ballard Spar LLP.
Sponsor.
Mm-hmm. Citizens Independent Bank.
Sponsor, and you can take that answer to the bank.
International House of Lutefisk Cakes.
Nice try. As George Washington once said, I cannot smell a lie. Lie, not a sponsor.
Not even a little whitefish lie?
Not even, no.
Borton Overseas.
Sponsor.
Ooh, you're a tour de force, Monsieur Mona. One final one. Larkin and Hoffman Attorneys. What do you think?
Sponsors, I rest my case.
As longtime Minnesota Twins announcer John Gordon would say, touch 'em all, Dave Mona.
And thank you, Gordo.
Well played.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to break it to you. We're running long. We're gonna cut this entirely, this whole sponsor bit. So well done, but we're gonna let that go. Can you just pick it up from well played?
And we're back in 3, 2.
You know, the phrase well played can often be heard whenever and wherever the band appears on the music scene. Here to bring you a little midsummer mood music, our very own Canada Goose with an instrumental version of their song, Black and Mild Blues. Now I know where those bumps come from, huh? Yeah, all right. You know, I also get goosebumps when I see the number of people who, without hesitation, dig down and step up to support the mission of Norway House. And here to show us all just how easy it is to be true difference makers, Dave and Linda Mona.
Thank you, Tyler. Now for the part of the show where the celebrities of Norway House come out and highlight what's uniquely inspiring about Hus itself.
I know we've seen everything from the idea of Norway House to what it is today,
a growing campus of resources.
From the beginning, there's always been that sense of community. What can we do for our friends, our neighbors? Remember that time that we helped Midtsommer? We weren't even a neighbor yet, but they had a rummage sale and it seemed like the right thing to do, and there we were in the neighborhood.
That's right. And you know what one of my favorites is? The annual presentation of the Gingerbread Wonderland. Or that time we hosted the Finnish Parliament elections.
Yeah! You know, we knew right from the start that Norway House would serve its purpose as a place to gather, a place to connect, and a place to learn.
Along with the growth of our board and staff came the capacity to serve a broader community with independent initiatives and varied collaborations. So much of Norway House and our journey has been about positive movement forward, which made the March 2020 especially heartbreaking.
Like so many organizations, our operations came to a complete stop. For the first time in history, we closed our doors. As Norway House stood empty, we quickly learned to connect the only way possible, through online programming. A welcome alternative, but a stark contrast to our usually bustling annual celebrations, concerts, and programs.
This past year, we saw record lows on our revenue. In the fourth quarter alone, Norway House lost close to 39% of our 2020 income. To those who chose to give or participate as a member, you are why we are standing here today. We stayed afloat and we adapted to the times, but there's a long road ahead to rebuild. Today, you can get us back on track and sustain our long history of positive movement forward.
Okay, let's get the giving going. To start us off, we have a happy announcement. Our board of directors and our founders council came together to offer a matching challenge. They offered $15,000, and ladies and gentlemen, you've already matched it.
What a wonderful start. And you know what? We've got more exciting news.
We do?
Yeah. As a steward of the Phillips neighborhood, Norway House has chosen to make a monetary donation to 3 extraordinary organizations: the Somali Museum, the American Indian Movement, and the American Indian Community Development Corporation. We offer this community appreciation gift and stand in solidarity with those making an impact by serving our community.
And speaking of community contributions, we're seeing funds rolling in. $10,000 just came in from Janine Rivet and Warren Herried. Thanks for your incredible generosity.
How about $5,000, $2,500? Help us maintain our community connections. With your help, we can host hybrid events and programs to make sure everyone interested can participate in person, locally, or Dave, even abroad.
You know, Linda, we have a real wave of generosity coming in at the $1,000 level. Look, there's Karen and Arturo Tuzu, our good friends, and Dick Engebretson.
And we have a touching gift here in memory of Carol Jean Lillehaugen.
Yeah, we'll miss her too, Miroy.
And thank you, Nick and Ingrid Gangestad.
Michael and Shirley Santoro, thank you. You're helping to get the popular coffee bar up and running again.
Yes. And Bill Halverson and Eric and Rima Torgerson gave to us.
Thank you, Mary Ellen Anderson, Maxine Wallen.
John and Sharon Haugo, Robert and Kathy Thunheim.
Well, and here's another 1,000 from Jim and Joy Erickson and Stacy Bateman.
Lauren and Marianne Anderson, Fern Letness, we thank you. Whatever you can give makes a difference. 500, 250, 100, 50, and even 25. It all adds up, and we need all of you to come in at some level.
Wow, look at the time. You know, we need to get going. We need to introduce those Norway House celebrities.
Dave? I think that was you and me.
Oh, man, cool.
Oh. Thank you. Keep giving. We'll see you soon to talk about some of the Not So Late Show featured auction items.
The level of generosity and philanthropic spirit in this community takes the phrase awe-inspiring to a whole new level. And so do the remarkable achievements of our next guests. It's time to sit back and soak in the wonder and grace that exemplifies two more of our 2021 Going Viking Award honorees. Please welcome Grace Grinauger and Dr. Michael Alsterholm. Hi, Grace. Welcome to the Not So Late Show.
Thank you, Tyler. I'm happy to be here.
All right, first question. What drew you to public health service?
What drew me to public health initially is that I saw it as a place where it could really make a big impact. I think we've really seen public health in action this past year, and I love that it's become more visible.
From your work, we know that you value community, and we've seen how many people it takes to respond effectively to this global health crisis. Now, where you are in Cook County, were you reaching out to work with other departments for the first time, or did you have existing relationships with them?
We had those relationships in place, so we knew who to call from the school or from the hospital or from the tribal health clinic. And we committed to work together because we all serve the same community.
What values do you share with Norway House?
I love the exchange of ideas between the United States and Minnesota and Norway, kind of embodied in the Norway House mission. And when I read about some of the values that guide Norway House's work, I really see them kind of reflected in my own philosophy working in public health. So I've talked a bit about that emphasis on community partnerships that's really guided us forward. I love seeing that reflected in Norway House's mission and values, and as well as that dedication to keep learning.
What do you see in the future for you and public health in general?
Just to have some conversations about how to really strengthen our public health system and the role of public health in society at large. I think it's a perfect time to be having those conversations, and I'm excited to be a part of those to lend a rural perspective of what it's been like to be on the ground this past year and a half.
Were you surprised to receive this award?
I was surprised. I didn't know I'd been nominated for the award. So when I got the announcement, it was a big surprise, but it was very welcome. So thank you so much for considering me for this award.
Wonderful. Congratulations, Grace, on your Going Viking Award. And now let's meet up with Dr. Michael Alsterholm. Welcome to the Not So Late Show, Dr. Alsterholm.
Well, thank you, Tyler, for having me here tonight and for everyone who is responsible for this very, very kind and very special award.
What does this award and the concept of Viking spirit mean to you?
I can't tell you how much it means to me. Maybe I should go back to my Viking days. As a student at Luther College in Decorah with the Luther Norsemen, and their whole approach to the world there was one of that adventure kind of picture that you talked about. So I've come about this at an early age in terms of my appreciation for Norway and for the Viking spirit. I must add one note to that Viking spirit. As much as it's exciting, it's engaging, it's out there, I've also had the opportunity to work closely with the Norwegian government on the creation of today one of the most important organizations in all of vaccine development, something we call SIPI. And some of my most fondest memories in my career over the course of the past 10 years has actually been spent in Norway.
And how about in terms of your incredible work as an epidemiologist?
In that Viking exploration, I must say that my work has been all about that. Exploring the world of microbes and what they do to people, both good and bad, has some of that same excitement and efforts to find the unknown. And in this case, as I said earlier about my feelings about Norway, and not only find out about the unknown, but how to fix it when it wasn't serving our best purposes from our health standpoint.
Do you have any advice for the next generation of people ready to explore and make a community impact?
Never stop searching. Never. I don't care if it's about any aspect of your professional life or your personal life. Never stop searching. Searching just means you never grow stale. It's a curious mind. And I think for me, that is a way of looking at life that means also you don't ever have to grow old. You may age, but you won't grow old.
And how about you? Were you surprised to receive this award?
Surprised would be a mild statement. You know, it's a real challenge right now to be in this business. And it just so happened the day I found out about this award happened to be one of those dark days. And I remember learning about that award, and the tears were clear and evident. I was so appreciative, so thank you.
Well, we're truly honored to have you and are happy to have put a bright spot in a tough day.
Well, thank you. And again, I am so appreciative and very, very humbled by this award. It means a great deal to me.
Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Michael. All right, now that you've had time to enjoy your Crave dinner, or Dave's drummy chicken wing, and our signature Midtsommer aquavit adult beverage from Vikra Distillery, you are properly primed for Pop Goes the Norwegian, our Norwegian-centric pop quiz. Simply get all 5 correct, and you're a winner. Dave, tell our winners what they'll receive.
Thank you. Our winners receive a personalized outgoing phone message from me, Dave Mona.
Ooh. Yeah. Ooh. I got those goosebumps again. Okay, so for our folks playing at home, just log your answers into the chat feature on YouTube. And for the folks here in the studio, we're going to play this Norwegian style. When I read the question, don't shout out the answer. Simply remain stoic and internalize your answer. Then we'll show you the correct answer on the big screen. If you're right, smile sheepishly and shrug your shoulders like this. If you didn't get it right, simply shake your head and look down at your shoes. Not if you understand. Okay? Well, here we go. First question. In what year did Norway become a modern independent country? 1814, 1876, 1905, or 1915? Log your answers now. What do you think, Dave?
It wouldn't be fair for me to answer because I'm already giving away the prize.
Of course, of course. All right, correct answer? 1905. All right, question number 2. The Norwegian national dress is called a bunad. About 80% of Norwegian women own one. What percent of men own a bunad? About 5%? About 20%? About 50%? Or about 75%? Dave, do you own one?
I do not.
Well, there you go. Log that in your memory. What does that say? All right, correct answer is about 20%. Okay, question number 3. Our neighbors at Midtsommer Lutheran Church are about to celebrate a milestone. In 2022, how old will the church be? 50 years old, 75 years old, 100 years old, or 200 years old? Think about your answer. Hold it inside. Internalize it. And let's reveal the answer. 100 years. All right. Okay, Minnesota boasts the highest population of Norwegian Americans, 870,000. Which state has the highest percentage at 17? Washington, Wisconsin, Minnesota, or North Dakota? It's either the Midwest or not the Midwest. What do we think? Correct answer is North Dakota. Okay, last question. Who is the current Prime Minister of Norway? Erna Solberg, Jens Stoltenberg, Bent Høie, Sylvi Listhaug, or Daniel Day-Lewis? I mean, he's convincing enough. He just might be, right? But what is the correct answer? Let's show the audience. Erna Solberg. That's right. Well, that was fun, enlightening, and rarely embarrassing. You know what else is fun? Making the winning bid in our Tour of the World auction. Let's go to Dave and Linda for our Tour of the World auction update. Dave, Linda?
You know, that buzz of activity is coming back to our shops, our restaurants, and airports as we start going out on the town again.
Oh, that's right. And the Not So Late Show auction has plenty of items supporting the urge to re-emerge. The first tour on our list is truly a once-in-a-lifetime experience visiting the Royal Norwegian Embassy in Washington, D.C. A behind-the-scenes tour for up to 6 guests of the renovated building and grounds. On historic Embassy Row across from the Vice President's residence, you get a private conversation with Anniken Krutnes, Norway's ambassador to the United States, hosted over lunch inside the residence. A one-night stay for 6 guests, up to 3 separate rooms, that's good, at the Westin Hotel.
So that's a great live auction item. And the next one, also terrific, that's a Golden Gopher game day pack, including a tour of TCF Bank Stadium. What does this include? 2 club seats and a Gopher football game, the 2021 season. I assume you get your pick of games. If I had my pick, I'd take the opener against Ohio State. It will probably be #1 in the nation at that time. So that'd be available, best seats in the house. 2 Gopher football jerseys, size large, a private tour of TCF Bank Stadium where the Gophers play for up to 8 people. And this is a real private tour. This is a locker room, this is the press box, this is the suites, all the behind the scene things. Who knows? You might even get your picture on the scoreboard. We know they'll do that right. Great item. Bid on that now.
It's even worth it just to get in that locker room. It's just wonderful, wonderful. For this next item, I'm going to need a little help. This tour really does take you to another part of the world, to Norway.
Sølvsmedje.
Say it again.
Sølvsmedje.
Yeah, right. Has generously donated an adventure day in Voss. That's just inland from Bergen. A guided tour at the high-quality handcraft jewelry workshop at
Sølvsmedje.
No more Norwegian jewelry. The house is full. But there are other people out there.
Oh, but if I bid and you don't know.
This is not a silent auction, I'll know.
Okay. And in addition, we have a trip to the mountain on Voss Gondal. The gondola is the largest and the most modern mountain gondola in Northern Europe. You get a guided tour of the wine cellar of Park Hotel Vossavagen, and you get lunch or dinner at the Park Hotel Vossavagen. And thank you.
As Christina leaves, yeah, how about it? And you know me, I had to throw in an item just for sports. I'm excited to see a Minnesota Wild hockey jersey in the auction. You can see it right there on the screen. Who's it signed by? Well, the newest star on the team, Kirill Kaprizov. You know anything about your, Number 97. You know anything about your hockey? Kaprizov, odds-on chance to be the National Hockey Rookie of the Year. Here's your chance to get that signed Kaprizov jersey, or as they say in the hockey world, signed sweater. So start your bidding now on one of these or any of the other amazing items in the auction. You can see the pictures on the screen. You can log on and bid at any time, but we want you to bid and bid aggressively. With that, we'll see what our host has up next. Hey, Tyler, are you out there? Come on up.
Oh, thanks, Dave. And now, as promised, our 5th and final Going Viking Award honoree, all the way from the Lone Star State, a bright star in her own right, Dr. Karen Nyberg.
I am truly honored to be recognized by Norway House as a recipient of this year's Going Viking Award. Growing up in central Minnesota, I was always very much aware and very proud of my Norwegian heritage. 3 of my grandparents were Norwegian, 1st and 2nd generation Americans, and that was a very important part of who they were. Around the age of 8 years old, I developed this audacious dream of one day flying into space. And not unlike the adventurous spirit of the Vikings, there was a spirit inside of me pushing me to work hard so that one day maybe I could be part of something bigger than myself. Maybe I could explore and push not only my own limits, but help to push the limits of humankind. That dream came alive, and over 2 missions to space, I spent a total of 180 days living and working on the International Space Station, 250 miles above the surface of Earth. I couldn't have known as that little girl in small town Minnesota exactly what I would ultimately gain from such a goal and such an experience. But seeing the Earth from space is a perspective changer. It becomes undeniably apparent that all of us on Earth are connected. All of us on Earth have more in common than we do different. And I commend Norway House for fostering those connections and bringing communities together through culture and arts and the very essence of who we are. My grandparents didn't get to see me fulfill my dream of flying into space, but I know they would have been proud. And so on behalf of them and what they stood for as proud Norwegian Americans, thank you for this recognition.
Congrats again to Karen and all of our Going Viking Award honorees. In the immortal words of Tina Turner, you're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Yeah. Yeah, give it up. All right. Oh, what an amazing evening and an important evening. Dave and Linda, if you could sum it up, put it all together, what would you share with our audience about why tonight is so important to you?
Well, thanks, Tyler. And it's hard to believe that just 15 years ago, Norway House was nothing more than an idea.
And you know, there were far more skeptics than there were believers in the beginning. Everywhere we turned, people were ready to say, this isn't gonna work.
Well, we had no major donor. We had no facility.
Yeah.
We didn't even know what we wanted to be.
Well, that's true, but some things were clear. We needed a place to gather. We didn't need to focus on the immigrant experience. There were already organizations doing that very well. We knew we needed to build some kind of bridge to contemporary Norway.
Really, the ideas came along long before the dollars. We knew we needed a place to celebrate Norwegian music, arts, culture, a home for Norwegian businesses to explore partnerships, programming focusing on Norway's role in achieving world peace.
And we must have looked seriously at a half a dozen locations before we finally found our home on Franklin Avenue.
And that's when things really took off. It's hard to believe that all that's happened over just the last 5 years.
And it's events such as this gala that raise both the awareness and the money to make the future so exciting.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you both. And you know, tonight's show may have been our best one yet. We have talked to Christina Carlton. She gave us a master class about Norway House and its focus for 2021 and beyond. We celebrated our 5 inspirational Going Viking Award honorees. Canada Goose dropped a beat and rocked the house.
That's the Norway House.
Yes, exactly. And you and Dave helped us visualize why a generous gift to Norway House is a wise investment in the future and one we can really feel good about. And I gotta say, visualizing a bright future seems so important and so necessary, especially right now, with all we've been through with COVID-19. And as they say in Norway, bak skyene er himmelen alltid blå. Behind the clouds, the sky is always blue. Oh. And I hear there's a little special announcement you guys want to make tonight, or something to celebrate?
Thank you.
Do you want to tell the audience what's going on?
Well, tonight, Tyler, happens to be our anniversary.
Ooh.
53 years. Skål!
And scold all of you.
Come on, baby, let's go. Not so. Not so. Not so. The not so late show. Come on, baby, let's go. Not so. Not so. Not so. The not so late show. Come on, baby, let's go. Not so. Not so. Not so. Not so late show. Come on, baby, let's go. Not so. Not so. Not so. The Not So Late Show. Come on, baby, let's go. Not so. Not so. Not so. The Not So Late Show. Come on, baby, let's go. Not so. Not so. Not so. The Not So Late Show. Come on, baby, let's go. Not so. Not so. Not so.